Today we were overwhelmed, outclassed, outplayed by a much better team. You know, a year ago we came up here and in essence that was a game of great meaning towards a Big East regular season championship. You know, between, I guess Marquette was a 2 seed in the last year's tournament and we were a 3 seed. And things have really changed a lot in a year, you know, based on, in particular, the players that returned from a year ago on their side. I really believe Marquette, like a few other teams in our league, has a chance to make a deep run in the tournament. Whoever plays them has their hands full. And, you know, whether it's Cam Jones, Tyler Kolek, Oso, they have some veteran, terrific players that I believe have great futures beyond Marquette. They're going to play this game for a long time and should make a lot of money playing it. They're terrific players. Shaka has continued to build this program, and that's what you play when you play Marquette. You play a team, but you also play a program. You know, they play for each other. Clearly, they play for Marquette, and I think they have lofty goals, and those are goals that I think that they can hit. So on our end, you know, when you've had so much change that we've experienced and kind of where we're at right now as a team, tonight's a dangerous game. It can really get away from us, and it did. We've been carried by our 3 guards all year: Des Claude, Quincy Oliveri, and Davion McKnight. If you've tracked us, those guys have been constants, and they've played some great basketball for us, really from start to finish. Unfortunately, in tonight's game, all 3 of them really didn't play well. Marquette had a lot to do with that, but if those guys don't play well, our team is in a different category. So for us, it's about moving on. We played DePaul at home on Wednesday. We're 7-9 in our league, 4 left. We have to try to make that number 8-9, and have 3 games left after that. So not a lot of lessons learned here tonight. There's not a lot of yelling. It is what it is. We got smashed.
Yeah, first 10 minutes or so of the game, it was pretty much anybody's game, Lee, going back and forth. Then you have a drought of about 5.5 minutes, and just what changed after the first 10 minutes or so when y'all were really competitive there?
Yeah, I did think the first, 10, maybe the first 12 minutes of the game, was very, very competitive. But at halftime, I looked at the stat sheet. I think those 3 guards that I referred to, they were 2 for 17. We were actually fortunate to be down by 10 at the half. My hope is that after halftime that they could get going a little bit. And, and I think maybe Davion and Quincy did, but, we weren't able to get the night that we would need to play Marquette to the wire from those 3 players. And it almost feels unfair fundamentally for me to single them out. Why I'm singling them out is simply because they have played so well for us. They have been such an important group. I don't think 3 players carry more weight on a single team in our conference than Des, Davion, and Quincy. So they've been consistent. They've given it to us virtually every night. We rely heavily on them. And tonight we really needed them to have a chance to compete with Marquette. The rest of our guys right now, there's 2 categories. One is just youth, young, freshmen. And, sometimes we're overwhelmed at those other places and positions. We've felt that throughout our conference season.
Coach, when Des has a performance like this and you've asked him to carry a lot of extra weight on his shoulders as a guy just in his second year, what do you tell him as a guard who's still, less than 30 starts under his belt in Big East play to bounce back from this?
Yeah, we need him to turn it around. He just didn't have it here tonight. And look, sometimes you have to credit the opponent. Marquette plays with a lot of force, a lot of togetherness on defense. They scramble. They got a lot of quickness. We knew coming into the game they led the Big East in steals. Having played against them 3 times a year ago with almost virtually the same team, we have a good sense and feel what they're good at. But 10 turnovers in the first half, 16 for the game. We're not going to have a chance to beat them with 16 turnovers. And then you talk about the production and the night that those 3, our big three had, made it a very uphill climb. And the one thing, at this time of year, you try to learn as much as you can about your younger players. I think some of our younger guys are still fighting. Dalen Swain and Trey Green both had their moments tonight where they made big plays, and they made them in the first half. Like the gentleman here pointed out, their good play at times in the first half allowed us to be in the game. But our defense, our competitive fire, our ability to make plays around the rim, we struggle in that area.
Stevie Mitchell from Marquette's having like a Big East Defensive Player of the Year type of season. Just studying Marquette, where do you see his impact most defensively?
Yeah, I thought Stevie was a huge piece to their great season a year ago. He really accepts his role. It seems like he leads them in steals. Seems like he takes on the challenge, whatever that challenge is, guarding the other team's best player, trapping the low post. He does a lot of great things for Marquette. He's the consummate team guy, it seems like. I'm not his coach, but just reading it, watching it, he does a lot of that, the dirty work that helps a team win. But in our league, man, the bar is high for these Player of the Year awards. Tyler Kolek, he may not win the Player of the Year, but man, he's just such a great player. He really is. He's a terrific point guard with an amazing future. And I think Marquette's a terrific team. Like, we play him again in 2 weeks, and we play him at home in our last regular season game. We're nowhere near that game right now, but they're really good, as is our conference.